Filip Pošivač, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about your film. It's your first feature after building experience in short formats. How are you feeling today?
Hi, Nate. Thank you for invitation, and I feel good today. And yes, you are right. This is my first feature. Yeah.
Very well, very well. It's called Tony, Shelly, and the Magic Light and tells the story of Tony, an 11-year-old boy that glows, unlike everybody else. His parents are very protective, so he spends most of his days at home wishing for a friend until one day a girl named Shelly moves into his building and together they find themselves facing clusters of darkness that threaten their surroundings. The film premiered in 2023 and is finally arriving in Portugal after collecting awards and nominations at several festivals. What has been like to follow the film across different countries and how has the audience reacted?
Yeah, it's a very good question because it was the thing what I was very curious how audience will react for this story and for this kind of animation technology, which is, we can say, a bit alternative next
Yeah.
to, for example, 3D and digital technologies of animation in mainstream
Yeah.
audiovisual work today. And I have to say that I was very nicely surprised that, for example, children are absolutely same. And it doesn't matter if you are in, for example, Italy or Japan or anywhere. And I was always very content that some values of our story are relevant and understandable for whole kids in the first, and as well for adult audience. And sometimes happen that I can feel some difference between some culture details, for example.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking very detailedly maybe, but for example, some audience from in Tokyo, for example, they explained to me some very special rules of children education or raising of children, which are of course a bit different that children raising, for example, in my country. But basic values and basic things of the script.
Maybe the thing about the parents being overprotective, right, can be a little bit confusing for some countries, right, because of the way they raise their kids.
Because I think that everywhere you have a lot of types of parents and a lot of type of protecting. And I have to say that I enjoyed very much this storyline because I always very happy that in animation you can be a little bit more you can do things a little bit more in a bigger stylization. But I have to say as well that we scriptwriter Jana Šramkova, we took a lot of ideas from our experience, from own lives, or from this, for example, what we could see somewhere in the past around us.
Very
But
well.
yeah.
Very well. Well, the film in Portugal is called Tony, Shelly e a Magia do Natal, which means Tolly, Shelly, and the magic of Christmas. So it has a Christmas element, and it also is expressed in the film. So it's a marketing thing, right, to promote the film and to have some resonance. But as you were saying, the film has some common ground between countries. and of course it explores self-acceptance, for example, and how a contaminated environment can divide people. Do the apartment buildings work as a microcosm of the conflicts in Czech society today?
Maybe yes.
Okay.
I think that it's very typical for I think that the symbol of building in that film is very nice symbol of, I'm not sure if only Czech society, but society
As a
generally.
whole. Yeah.
Yeah. That's that's like that. We used very simple thing, very simple symbol, like the block of flat is, which is full of very different types of characters, and we use it like a metaphor of our world, our society. And in that field, we try to talk the story about, as you said, it's self-acceptance, respect, or empathy. It's always very depends. It's a very individual, always very depends of people, and I think that it's not easy. Same
No.
like in this film, and it's very nice. It's very nice and very lovely that in your script you can work with happy end, for example, but in real life, I think that we have to work much more harder. But I'm always very fine if I am touched, or if I can identify these values in some movie, for example. Yeah, because I think that movies are very good instrument how to connect people and how to show topics to talk with the others.
Very well, very well. The characters in the film carry very personal struggles, right? While also dealing with the tension inside the building. How did you balance the intimate and the individual stories with the broader social commentary that you clearly had intended?
I remember that when we created the storyline of Tony, that it was very difficult because I always felt a big pressure, because I knew that this is main character and main storyline, and time to time I felt that it was easier to create storylines, for example, of Shelly or Shelly's mother and neighbors and parents. I think that a lot of things in a second line were so much clearer than the main character, and in some part of development or and production as well, I felt Tony like too passive character. And maybe I'm not answering what you're asking me.
Well, in a way, you are, because in structuring the storyline of Tony, you are creating, in a way, the main plot almost, while also balancing what the subplots are saying about the social environment that they are emerged. So, in a way, that struggle that you have indicates that you intended to really draw a line between the personal struggles of the characters and the social commentary, and try to intertwine those lines. And it's a difficult job. It's a difficult job, and it starts in the stop motion animation. It starts in the drawing of the characters. Let's go for another question, because in my opinion, it's always challenging and very time consuming to create characters this way. But story-wise, as you were saying, you have so many paths to choose from that it can become a little bit unclear. Was it clear from the beginning what the story will be, or it diverged along the way? Because for what you are saying, I think it was a struggle to create this central character. But did it have to do with the fact that you didn't know what you wanted to say about society, or just the place of this character in this world?
On the beginning of all, I had an idea about glowing boy
Okay.
and girlfriend with flashlight in
Mhm.
a dark building. It was maybe 10 years ago, maybe more.
Wow.
And I wanted to create a story which is original, because here in Czech Republic is very usual that creators take, for example, topic from known book and they create it to script for film. And I didn't want to do it like that, because
Mhm.
I trusted that it's possible to find out some new, maybe more unexpected story that, for example, from the book. And I spent with scriptwriter Jana Šrámková 2.5 years of writing the script. And I remember very well that we had a lot of ideas, and we had maybe 14 versions of script, which we cooperated, of course, with dramaturgists and creative producers and so. But we always had last word about that. And when I watch this movie with some time distance, I can feel that maybe there is attribute of the first film, because I think that sometimes we felt that we decided to use some micro storylines, or we decided to use a lot of ideas. And maybe today, when I would polish the script, maybe I would be much more stricter
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
And I think that it's how I am saying. I think that this is very visible attribute of the first film, because you have an opportunity to say something, you have opportunity to shoot something or create, and it's very
It's
heavy to
yeah, it's you
kick
have a lot
out
of yeah.
kick out your favorite things. But I have to say that we canceled a lot of
Ideas.
ideas, and a lot of
Yeah.
beautiful ideas, for example. But
Well,
it was a big experience for me. And when I create my next script, I have I can say I'm so much I'm much more strict, because after this experience I'm able to see better how to do it.
yeah, it's a creative process, and
Yeah, very much.
it's about making choices, right? And sometimes
Mm.
you, as a creator, want to put it all in in one basket,
Yeah.
but you'll have another opportunities. I'm right, I'm sure. But hey, well, here's to your second film anytime soon. But first, let's talk about a little bit about this Tony,
Yeah.
and mainly the environment of Czech Republic, and even back in Czechoslovakia.
Mhm.
This country has a long tradition of their director animators with names like Karel Zeman and Jan Schwankmajer standing
Mhm.
out. Long before Star Wars, these filmmakers were already revolutionizing visual cinema, visual effects in cinema. Is this the canon that inspires you, or do you look for your references elsewhere?
Mm. Honestly, I'm saying that I am inspired by them, by the creators who named,
Yeah, yeah.
because in Czech Republic they are very very strong part of audiovisual culture.
Hmm.
Every generation knows them, because every year during the Christmas you can see their films in TV. You have a lot of, no, not a lot of, but you have, you know, very special editions in cinemas. You can visit museums, and Czech Republic as well is a very a very Czech Republic has as well very strong tradition in puppetry. I think that people here, a lot of people here have quite strong relationship with puppets and puppet theater and animation, and this long strong tradition which is written in UNESCO list. It's really big, and my case is absolutely like that. I from childhood I was very inspiring by puppets and slow motion animation. I created, you know, figures when I was 5 years old, and I wanted to study drawing and sculpturing and everything. So yeah, my answer is that
very well
under skin totally.
Very well. It's a really interesting part of Czech Republic's culture, and I'm glad that you have that tradition, because I feel it is really influential in some way, not only in your work, but in several other artists that are still working in Czech Republic today. But let's talk about a name that it's not from Czech Republic, but it's leaving a mark in animation. Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro has a famous quote about animation. He says, and repeated when he won the Oscar for Best Animator Feature for his Pinocchio, that animation is not a genre, is a medium. Before we leave this interview, I want to know, what's your take on that statement?
I think that animation is, I never sorted those things to genres or some technical order. For me, animation is something like power, some element, some very special world, which is never ending. And when you have opportunity to come in and do something there, you have a freedom there. There is possible to do everything. You can find out there any character. There are no borders, and that's what I love to do, because there you can use your imagination without borders. That's what I like in animation, but it's very but it's quite difficult to find some, it's quite difficult to find rules.
It's
because
it's difficult, I imagine.
It's so free that it's that it's very important to know rules. And animation, I think that animation, much more live action, it's a team job. That's very important to say, that nobody, there is not only Guillermo del Toro, there is not only Jan Schwankmajer. Their projects are very quality team job with excellent group of people who are specialists and masters of their craft. And when those people who love that craft work together, there is possible to do good things.
Philip, thank you so much for being
thank you
Freire E. Marques at the movies. I hope Tony, Shelly, and the Magic Light does well here in Portugal and inspires both young and adult viewers. Animation is always an endless playground for ideas and dreams. And we can't wait to see what you create next. If you restrain yourself or if you let go, as you did in Tony and Shelly. So see you at the movies, man. See you at the movies.
thank you very much for interview. Yeah.